Hey, it is the Loftus Party, the wild, the wacky, the tired, the rundown. But that's how much you mean to us. We're still coming at you. I'm in Tacoma. The other night, I was in Spokane. The night before that, I was in Portland. It has been the wackiest of wackiest trips. There was a little news made. We had some protesters. We had a little protest action going on in Portland. We'll get to that in a little bit. Right now, I want to say hello.
Protesters in Portland.
I know it's hard to comprehend protesters in
That
Portland.
never happens.
Okay, so it it's the gypsy on the other line. It's fantastic. Okay, so you know who it was? Do you know who it was?
Antifa.
It was there was a guy who was going to speak at like the Portland, Oregon College Republicans Club, and some doofus kid came in just banging on a cowbell, interrupted the whole thing. It took like the cops an hour to step in and finally get this kid out of there. It's the same kid. It's the same kid.
Did he have
However,
the cowbell?
no, he did not have the
Oh,
cowbell.
too
And that
bad.
was the big joke I was going to do on Fox News. I was going to do my Christopher Walken. I say this kid, he's got a fever for more socialism, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Right?
Here's the big difference. This kid figured out there is a difference between the college Republican club and a bunch of grown-up Republicans. It was he was ill prepared for these people were not going to give him a lot of leeway. There was a boatload of people in Portland. A
Really?
boat. Oh my Lord, Stacy, they had they were waving American flag. I'm not even kidding.
Why
I
don't
tried to
these
get
people vote?
I there's just not enough of them. I guess there's just not enough of them. I posted a video and it started just a hair too late. They had spontaneously started singing "God Bless America." This is waiting to get into the theater. There was like 50, 60 people. The line was going around the block. You couldn't see it on the video from where I was set up. But I'm like, holy crap! They're singing "God Bless America." They're waving the American flag. It's nuts. And then shortly after I left, this kid showed up, and there was a little bit of a confrontation. It was caught on tape. He had he didn't have his cowbell. He had some mace, and boy howdy, these patriots, I call them, they set upon him, and he quickly did the math. He's like, huh, there's one of me, and there's a couple hundred of them. I think I'm gonna retreat.
He brought
It was awesome.
mace?
Say what?
You said he brought mace?
Yeah, he had a big thing of like like you use it on a bear, like bear mace. It was like a big industrial. He didn't unleash it. He didn't spray it on anybody. Thank God. He didn't unload. But yeah,
But
my
why
big
would you
concern.
even bring that? You're not allowed to mace people.
I think what he was probably hoping to do was to start a confrontation, have somebody put their hands on him, and then he would mace them in self-defense. I think that's the traditional protesters' math that he was doing. But it's funny, like everybody's hip to this now. Everybody's hip to it. Even like the Covington kid, he's like, okay, I'm just going to stand here because if I touch him, then all of a sudden it's crazy. We're such a litigious society. But it didn't work. His little screaming match didn't work. And I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. The Portland show was insane. It was insane. And Spokane was really good last night. I think right now it's Portland. If I had to go one, two, three, Portland is my number one show. Spokane comes in at number two, and then we'll see what happens in Tacoma tonight. But we started doing this new thing where we kind of like we have our merchandise out in the lobby, and then we started raising money for charities, which is a great thing. It's like, hey, everybody's already here. We're already like-minded. So these combat vet they do like motorcycle rides, and they raise money for vets with PTSD and combat injuries, and so we raised a couple $1,000s for those dudes last night. Had an absolute blast. And I know you've lived everywhere. I know you've lived in every major city in America. Have you
That's
ever?
not exactly true, but do go on.
It's close. It's close. It's like you've lived in Manhattan, you've lived in New York, you've lived in San Francisco, you've been
No,
everywhere.
I never lived in Manhattan. I just went to Manhattan.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I
Have you
traveled a lot too for work, so
and because you're a gypsy and it's in your blood and
something.
and you have to pull up stakes for the gypsy caravan before the locals get wise to you're not really telling their fortunes. Um, have you ever spent any time in Portland or Spokane or Tacoma?
Actually, Oregon and Washington are two states I have not been to. I have been to Idaho and Montana, though.
Okay, we had a lot of people from Idaho. A lot of people made from the trip from Idaho last night. I
Mm-hmm.
love Idaho. Idaho is gorgeous.
Star
I've never
Valley. Awesome
I have
place.
say what?
Star Valley.
Never been there. I spent a lot of time in Boise and some time in Coeur d'Alene.
Okie doke.
Just gorgeous. And let me
Mm-hmm.
tell you, Portland, gorgeous town. Now, maybe it was just the weather. Maybe it's the weather and spring is in the air and everybody's feeling good. Portland is gorgeous. Spokane is gorgeous. We
Uh-huh.
just we just rolled into Tacoma, and I ain't mad at Tacoma. The sun is shining, the sky is blue, the
Really?
mountains are beautiful.
No rain?
No, no.
Weird.
We had a little bit of rain in Portland, but that was about it. But man, there's like Spokane, they might not be. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Spokane. I don't even know. Uh, there's like a ski resort like right there, like
Mm-hmm.
within spitting distance. You can just get in your car and go. It looks
Is
like
that
it's like
Mount
like
Rainier?
20 minutes away.
Is that Mount Rainier, I think?
I don't know.
Maybe
I
not.
don't know.
I don't know.
But I'm digging it. The shows are going great. We're meeting tons of people, so it's thrilling. However, here's the deal. Uh, I did Varney and Company the other
Mm-hmm.
morning on the Fox Business Channel. That was great. And then they're like, "Hey, can you do Fox and Friends tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Sure, I can, but I'm going to be in Spokane." And they're like, "Hey, that's no problem." And then they couldn't get a person to man the satellite, so then they're like, "Well, maybe we'll do it the next day." So they call me up. They're like, "Hey, can you do Fox and Friends from Tacoma?" And I'm like, "Sure." And they were going to send a car and get me from Tacoma to Seattle. It was just madness. So every day I've been getting up early, prepared to do Fox News. And the last email I got from them like an hour ago was, "Don't be mad." They're rescheduling me for Tuesday. So I'm
Okay.
running, I get like 4 hours of sleep. I get up, we hop in the van, we drive to a new location, we do a sound check, we set up, we do a show, I go back. It's just been madness, absolute madness. And there's so much going on in the world that we got to talk about. That's all just deplorable show, Fox News madness right there. You
Well,
want to hear the sound of a here's the
been
sound
a
of a Red Bull
fantastic
opening.
week.
You said what?
It's been a fantastic week.
It has. It has.
I
Now
I'm
what do you got? What's on your radar? And then I'll tell you what's on my radar.
Oh, it started over a week ago and it just keeps going. Like every morning I see Tater making an absolute fool of himself. Um it just you know, we had Cheryl Atkinson interviewing Carter Page today. I listened
I
to
missed that. What happened? What happened?
basically he's just like I was helping the intelligence services starting in like 2014. I have no idea what they were thinking. When he found out they were looking at him, he actually wrote James Comey a letter. Like, ask me anything, dude. Here's what I've done.
I think I told you this, and it's probably I
He's weird,
met
though.
Carter Page at Politicon last summer, and I talked to him for a little bit, and he seems like a genuinely nice person. Like you can kind of tell, you get a vibe off of. He seems like a genuinely yeah. I don't think that dude was ever hiding anything.
But you
So
know
what
what?
else?
Like, his demeanor doesn't make sense when he's discussing what he went through. He should be angrier.
Yeah, you
He's
know
just
what?
not even angry.
he seemed very not laid back about it, but he's like, yeah, I got my lawyers on it, and it's just not fair. And he's one of those guys who's suing him for $1. It's like he's suing him for, just cover my legal expenses and then give me a
Cover my
dollar.
legal
It's the principle.
expenses and then apologize to me publicly.
Yeah, yeah. How about that? That would be fantastic.
Oh, but
That would
just
be
like
fantastic.
watching the whole mainstream media, just doubling down and then watching Republicans tell Adam Schiff to resign on the Intelligence Committee. Like, oh my God, you guys finally grew some cojones.
It's it's wonderful and it's crazy here. And this is going to make you feel really good. This is going to make you feel really good. Last night I'm on stage and I'm just riffing, and I'm like talking about now that this Mueller thing is behind us. Now that we're done with Mueller, we can start. And the place goes crazy. And I go, and then I'm like, yeah, we can start looking at who was behind it. We can start looking at Comey. We can start looking at Clapper. We can start looking at Brenner. And people are losing their minds. They're right there. They are right. That whole if they thought people were cheering lock her up a lot in 2016, holy crap! When like 1,000 people, they're on it. They really want justice for the people who did this with the FISA abuse and all of it. I don't
Well,
think this is going to go away anytime soon for Jimmy Comey and the boys.
I don't think you're going to be able to get away without doing what Lindsey Graham wants to do and appointing a special counsel again, someone who's not a Senate committee, who's not a House committee, who's not the DOJ, and who's not the FBI, to look into what actually happened. Because I listened to an entire podcast with Byron York today, who writes for the Washington Examiner,
Yeah, he's
and
good.
he and Andrew McCarthy and Cheryl Atkinson and Kimberly Strassel and Sarah Carter DC, those are the people I've been reading about this. From Molly Hemingway, at the
Yeah.
Federalist, and there's actually a couple liberals that were writing pretty good stuff on it too. Um, Greg Gutwald, is that his last name? The left has
Who
just
did,
been eviscerating him since the Comey or since the Mueller letter, and Michael
gotcha.
Tracy. Um, so I've been reading all these people, and so there was a interview with Byron York and John Dowd, President Trump's first attorney in the matter.
Mm-hmm.
That was just maddening. And do you know what it validated? Do you know what it seriously validated for me?
What?
Remember when I told you Mueller was going to boogie out as soon as Barr got in the chair?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. If they had
What?
taken any longer to see, that investigation was going to go until they replaced Sessions. They were going
Do
to
you think
drag
they?
it out as long as they could.
Wow.
According to
Wow.
Dowd in this podcast, okay, as of December of 2017, Mueller was done with the collusion thing. And in fact told him on March 5th of 2018 in not so many words the president was in the clear.
He told this to Barr?
He told this to Dowd, the president's
Oh, okay.
lawyer. And
Yeah,
then
okay.
Dowd stepped aside and who's the guy? Sekulow took over.
Gotcha, gotcha. Now I know who you're talking about. That Dowd guy is that big dude. He looks like one of the
Older gentleman, yeah. Been
yeah,
around
but
for a
he
while.
looks like somebody out of Harry Potter. I don't know but he does. You know what I'm
But
talking
no,
about?
if you get a chance to listen to this, and he brought up the fact that Rosenstein never told anybody, never gave them a professional courtesy heads up to include his boss Jeff Sessions that he had appointed Mueller.
Man. So do you think they were going to try to keep this thing going through 2020 and
Oh,
like affect the election that way?
absolutely, absolutely.
Wow.
If they had not,
Wow.
if an attorney general had not been selected and confirmed, the Mueller investigation would still be going. I firmly believe that. The
Holy
last
crap.
thing that this particular group wanted was an attorney general overseeing what they were doing. And it just
Man.
kind of re-ups, thanks Rod. Thanks Rod Rosenstein for saying there was no obstruction. I still think you're a snake in the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's a snake in the grass.
So
I
what's
don't
the
like it.
benefit? Is the benefit of keeping Rod Rosenstein around so he can kind of sign off a two with Barr so it just doesn't look
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
totally.
that was total politics. Very well done by Mr. Barr.
Yeah.
Pat on the back, sir. I like him already. And
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
just it's the way he's handling everything.
Right.
Everything's very consistent. The messaging is very consistent and he's saying, "I'll release this report, but I'm bringing in Mueller to tell me where the grand jury stuff is so we don't break the law." I mean, he's being very specific about what he's doing.
That's the thing that drives me crazy. The total disingenuous nature of all like the Adam
Nancy
Schiffs and the
Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi's and
Yeah.
all that. They're like, we want the report and we demand to see it now. We demand to see it now. And you know there's stuff in there they're not allowed to. There's stuff that
You
they
can't
by
see it
law.
now, and there's stuff you can't see. And as Congress, you had the right to do your own investigation, and you did, and it's over. You didn't
Yeah.
find anything either.
And the other thing was Schiff, and I'm just getting things off my
Pencil
chest at
neck.
this point. Adam Schiff saying, "I have evidence. I have evidence. I've seen the evidence." And like, dude, you better cough it up. You better cough it up. He keeps this whole collusion conspiracy thing going, saying he's seen evidence. You better start freaking cards on the table, Jack. Cards on the table.
Did you see President Crenshaw 2024 respond to him? That was awesome too.
No, I didn't.
Quote tweeted him and said, "I've been listening to this for 2 years. Show it or shut up."
Yeah.
Like, we're done with
Yeah.
you, dude. And who are the idiots who keep electing this pencil neck moron? I love that nickname, by the way.
That's too hilarious. There was someone who's a fan of the Loftus Party sent me this. I tweeted it out the other day. It just made me laugh out loud. It was like a box of sharpened pencils, and then
It's Adam Schiff in it.
Adam Schiff's ancestry DNA results.
Oh, God. I mean, he is just absolutely ridiculous.
He
And then
is,
we
but
had
it's
the dumbest one, well, the third dumbest woman in Congress. Sheila Jackson Lee is number one. Maxine Waters is number two. Mazie Hirono. Or I guess
oh
she's a
jeez.
senator. She's the dumbest woman in the Senate.
Yeah, she's the one who was like, all these men need to shut up.
Well, no, because the other thing I fell in love with this week was Mitch McConnell when he decided to make them all vote on the Green New Deal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was
And then they all
awesome.
voted present.
Present, you chickens. But then the interview with Mazie Hirono, like, why didn't you vote yes? Da 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 da. And she was like completely clueless about what this thing. Well, do you understand there would be no more airplanes? You live on an island.
Yeah,
She says something to the effect of, I don't remember, but we're working on a train system. Oh, a train from Hawaii. Okay.
yeah. I'll take the high speed rail from
Yeah.
San Francisco
God,
to
she's
Hawaii.
another one. Like, are you people stupid? Why do you keep electing this woman?
It's the whole thing, and it's like maybe we were talking about this last week, but the whole Green New Deal. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was even saying in a recent interview, she's like, "It's our North Star. It's our North Star." That's where they're aiming. That's where they're aiming. And they ask for this giant level of ridiculousness. And if they get 25% of that, I think they're okay.
25% is too much.
Exactly.
All they really need to make their benefactors happy. And this is what I truly believe, right? So the benefactors of the entire climate movement are all of these people that have investment companies, right? That are investing in sustainable technologies. And all you have to do is look at Buffalo to find out how those go without government mandates. All they are looking for is government mandates for alternative energy so they can
Mm-hmm.
make their money and get out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I saw? A statistic I saw, and I have not verified it. I verified the back end, but I have not verified the front end.
Yeah,
When
I'm just happy that you said you verified the back end.
yeah, that double entendre. I
You
should have
as you
caught that.
said as you said it, you knew it sounded so dirty.
Yeah,
I
I did, but I
verified the
had to
back
keep
end.
going. Had to keep going. Um, so Al Gore, right?
Yeah.
I've told you about his investment company, Blood and Gore, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude was worth $2 million when he left the White House. He's now
Right.
worth $300 million. Don't
Yeah.
tell me the climate cabal doesn't pay.
Dig it. Dig it. I think that was like the very first monologue I did for the flip side. And I was really
I
just
know.
starting to really start to dig into politics. And these dudes presented me with all these facts, and it was just shocking. Like the investments that Al Gore made and the
Mm-hmm.
clean energy, this, and he partnered up
Mm-hmm.
with those people. And he's got a
Yep.
real, literally, a financial interest
Dude,
in keeping climate change going.
one organization that's a bundler on the left. Tell me if I'm repeating myself because I talk
Okay.
about this all the time. But one organization, Climate Works, okay, they're a bundler. So they take money from the Grantham Foundation, the Hewlett Foundation, the Packard Foundation, the Ford Foundation, right? All these big dollar foundations donate to Climate Works, then the money disappears and they spin it all up and then they spit it back out into the smaller organizations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Total salaries 10 people, nearly $2 million.
Damn.
Total salaries and compensation $2 million
Yup.
for 10
Yep.
people.
Yep. It is a
Now,
good racket. It's a
it's a
good
totally
racket.
good racket, and all of these people are 100%. Like, one dude, I don't even remember his name, got so mad at me on Twitter because I put out my stuff on climate change, and the next thing I know, a climate author is responding to me. I'm like, dude, worried about your speaking fees? Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Just don't talk to me. If you're invested financially in this, I'm not going to believe you for 1 second.
And that is, oh, what is the phrase? What is the phrase? People believe, is it emotions? People believe emotions and not accountants. It's so hard to, and this is what makes it such a great racket. Here's what makes climate change such a great racket. Because
We're
like
all
somebody
gonna
came at,
die in 12 years.
yeah, somebody was making fun of the new Green Deal on the floor, and then Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is like, that's great that you think this is such a joke, but what
Oh
about
my
our
god, did you
children? What about
was
the children that are
was
going to
she
grow up in a world without blah 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 blah? And like, it's how do you fight that?
did you see Mike Lee's
Yeah, that dude, he went over the
presentation?
top. That
He
was
is so
he went
dry. That was funny though.
It was, but he like went a couple too far. He went a couple too far. Like I always love seeing Reagan on the back of a Velociraptor with a machine gun. Like
Yeah,
that's
I
always
know.
just
I know.
good.
It's
But he
kind of
went.
like seeing George W. Bush on the back of a shark with a machine gun. That's a good one too. I've seen that T-shirt. I want it.
It's a
I'd
classic.
actually like the Reagan one better, I think. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's going to be tough, and that's why it's great that you can that we can connect these dots. Like, Al Gore had X amount of money, then he invested in this company for climate change, and then that blah blah, blah that blew up, and now he's worth. So when you can connect those dots for people, I think it really helps. But that's like, it's oddly enough, this comes back to the live touring comedy show that I'm in. It's like
Hmm.
no one's in the world of entertainment. No one's in the world of entertainment. So we have to start because you can't lose the culture war. And the left does such a great job at framing these issues with emotion, and it's like what they've learned from television and propaganda. It is hard to fight, and when they have the emotional argument, and then we're coming back with, well, this guy made this much money. It is kind of an uphill battle, and I think it's just
Well, it's
we just need
kind of
more
an
of it.
uphill battle, but you have to separate the true believers from the people behind the whole thing. So I don't necessarily impugn Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for her motives. I think she's a true believer.
Yeah.
I impugn the people that are setting her up. I mean, okay, so Dr. Moore, I can't remember his first name, one of the founders of Greenpeace,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't believe all this nonsense, and he was one of the first people with a PhD in ecology. He knows more about
Yeah.
how the Earth formed in the various stages and what happened when and how the dinosaurs died, right? So he's not a believer. Google actually removed him from being a founder of Greenpeace
Yeah.
in Google search.
Yup.
That is insane.
It is. It is.
Completely insane. Because you
and it's
know
like
who still had him as a founder of Greenpeace the day Google removed him?
who?
Greenpeace. I archived it and I sent it to him.
That's fantastic. That's
But I mean, that's the
fantastic.
other thing too, because so you had Mike Lee do that thing, right?
Yep.
And Mike Lee has a very Ben Shapiro called it a Bob Newhart delivery. He's a straight
Yeah.
man, right?
Yeah.
So then the media comes out and goes, Mike Lee's bizarre response to the Green New Deal. No, that wasn't bizarre. You people are stupid. It was completely obvious what he was doing. Why are you lying?
Yes. Yes. But that's
Why
just
are you
that's how
lying?
because that's how they have to frame it, you know.
I know.
With like that was a bizarre response. They do it to Trump every time. You know, when Trump goes off on some hilarious tangent, when he's doing like the rally the other night was the best. The rally the other night was the best. But he'll do something and it's just hilarious, and they'll go, you know, his bizarre rant or his, you know, he's unhinged. He's lost touch with reality. Well, that's
Yeah,
usually what you
no.
do when you're being funny. Is you make things larger than life, and that's
Hmm.
where comedy is born. That's why Trump is so good at what he does.
Well, I mean, Adam Schiff is never getting rid of pencil neck now.
No, it's
No,
wonderful. It's
no.
wonderful.
I can't wait till he starts giving nicknames to the 2020 primary candidates. Oh, and speaking of 2020, did you see they're killing Biden already?
Oh, what did they bring up today? What did they
No,
find?
it was yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Some girl who ran for lieutenant governor out in Nevada had no chance
Yeah.
of winning. They sent Biden and his team around and he sniffed her hair or something. Dude, how many
Mm-hmm.
pictures have you seen of Joe Biden inappropriately sniffing women since he
Yeah.
was vice president? Like, this is not news.
Yeah, he's definitely got a thing. He's got a thing for he likes to get really close in there and smell their hair, and it's
Well, I mean,
creepy. It's
he's
creepy.
creepy, but this has been going on for years.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
there are
now
dozens of pictures of him doing this to women. All of a sudden, this one woman, where there's no pictures of him doing it, writes an article, and now the entire left is, he's got to go. He's got to
well,
go. No, the only reason he's got to go is because he's leading in the polls and he isn't intersectional enough. Because you
well,
guys have tolerated this for his entire political career.
but isn't it now a Democrat who's complaining?
Well, now it's a Democrat who's complaining, but a Democrat complained about Keith Ellison. You never hear about her anymore. I believe it's Democrats complaining about the lieutenant governor in Virginia.
He's
Nothing
still there.
happened to him. No, they got to get rid of Joe Biden because he's an old white man, period. And the only thing that saves Bernie Sanders, and they'll get around to kneecapping him eventually, is the fact that he's a socialist.
But isn't that really the only people who are exciting on the Democratic side right now are the old white dudes and the middle-aged white guy? Isn't it really Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, and Robert
Kamala
Francis?
Harris is collecting some big donor dollars from what I saw this week. And the other one, I can't say his name, Pete Buttigieg.
What are you?
Pete Buttigieg. Buttigieg. I've heard people pronounce it.
Oh,
I can't do it. If he
butt
becomes our
gig.
president, I'm screwed.
The guy's name is like Butt Gig or Butt Geig or something, right? It's like
Buttigieg. No, the G's are like zh.
where's he from? I know who you're
He's
talking
from
about.
He's the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, but he
Uh,
actually beat Beto in a poll. Or Robert Francis. I gotta stop calling him Beto.
yes, yes. I'm literally. I need one of those shock collars
Yeah,
where every time I
we don't
accident.
say the names of shooters, and we don't call Robert Francis by his preferred nickname.
Yes, he's
Yes,
Robert Francis, the kid with the
Robert
wacky arm.
Francis. Robert Francis, the billionaire daughter's wife or
Oh yeah, and
husband.
I guess his dad was his dad a judge.
His dad was a judge. His family is wealthy in its own right. He got to run around the country, dressing up as a fox and doing his little punk band and whatever. I mean, like, he's unemployed right now.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
unemployed, and he went on some Jack Kerouac freaking jaunt to talk to people, wrote these really weird diary entries. Like, I don't get the fascination with this guy. Like, literally, if he was my neighborhood, he would not be invited to the barbecue.
I I don't get it either. I really don't.
Like,
I
I
mean,
think he's creepy.
he definitely has the Bobby Kennedy vibe. He's got the young.
No, I don't remember Bobby Kennedy waving his arms around like that.
Me neither, but I really think he studied this mannerism. It's the way he runs his hand across his hair. He like flattens his hair down, and it's very, very much Bobby Kennedy. And he also has that same kind of like weird
Chiseled
mouthy
chin
face.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it. It's like, yeah, he's the trust fund kid who went out and played like, look at me, I'm a punk rocker. Look at me, I'm a hacker, and all this stuff. And then he gets
Now
to
I
come
want to be your
back, and
president.
yeah, and the dude is just a moron. The
Well,
dude
he's
is,
just
and like,
weird.
he's weird and he's stupid. Like right after the Mueller report comes out, and they're like,
Dude,
no new charges are coming. Nothing's gonna happen from this. It exonerates the president. Then you have Robert Francis O'Rourke on stage. His arm is going crazy, and I do believe there was conspiracy, and our president did collude, no matter how ham-handedly. And like, okay, I understand you just learned the phrase ham-handedly, but if he would have really done it, and if it really would have been done ham-handedly, he would have been caught. You tool! You don't even know what ham-handedly
okay,
means.
here's the thing. They like to phrase Robert Francis as some, like, cool millennial candidate. He's not. He's my age.
Yeah,
Okay? He's Gen
he's
X. We're
he's
Gen
30.
X. We wouldn't have talked to him in high school.
Oh, somebody would have. Somebody would have. Because you
Somebody
know
would
why?
have, but it would have been like,
It would have been the other kids in the band. They're like, listen, you guys, we should let Robert Francis in the band. And the real punk rockers, the kids who grew up poor, be like, no way, we're
no
not letting
way.
that guy in there. He's too preppy. Like, you guys, he's rich. He can buy a drum kit and he can buy a PA.
And we'll
I'm
make
like,
him wear the
okay,
furry costume.
he can be the. Then you're like, okay, he can be the bass player. But if he talks to me too much, I'm gonna punch him.
Yeah, right? And he has to wear the lamb costume.
Yes, yeah. And if we ever do press, he has to wear a dress, and that's yeah. That dude is a loser, an absolute
Like,
loser.
he
He
was
could
the kid that the only reason people hang around with him because he had money.
yes, yes.
Yes.
You guys, I want to go out drinking. Oh, I don't get paid till Friday. Well,
Call
let's
Robert
let's in,
Francis.
yeah, call Robbie F. He'll show up. His dad's got money. And then if we
He's
get pulled over
loaded.
for DUI, his dad's a judge. We won't even go to jail.
We won't even get in trouble. Oh, that was
Yeah.
probably another thing that got him friends.
Oh, absolutely. Heck yes, he's connected. Hell, he had a DUI and nothing
I
nothing
know, but we
happened.
were just like way too cynical and way too like, no way. No way. And I mean, you read these stories about these women that dated him in college, and oh, he was always carrying a book and this. I'm like, you're dumb. You're
Yeah.
dumb.
Well, this is actually that
He
was a
must
great
have been like a dumb girl magnet. I swear to God.
he was sensitive, he was rich and all this stuff, and this is
Ugh.
actually a great segue into I wanted to talk about this week. This and I think I just saved it to bookmarks. I didn't tweet it out, but this guy's doing a study about people's sex lives, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Guys
did
under
you see
30
this?
aren't getting none.
This is really scary. The share of men under 30 who are not having sex has nearly tripled in the last 10 years.
Well,
I
what
mean,
was
it
her
is.
name?
Say
What was her
what?
name? Like the whole founder of the Me Too thing. Like it was Lena Dunham or somebody like that. Writes in Vanity Fair, one of these other rags. She's in there complaining about her sex life and how since Me Too, men don't like to be rough in bed anymore. And then when one is rough with her, she tells him he's a little too rough. Try to tone it down. It's like, What do you want? I don't
Yeah,
blame men for being confused and kind of saying, no, thank you.
it is. I find these numbers really like it's scary because I always think, okay, because of this, well, then what happens? Well, then what happens? But it's not
They
good
watch
for
a lot
our.
of porn, they play a lot of video games, and they hang out with the bros.
But it's not good for our
People,
civilization. It's
it's
not
not,
good
but
for
they're
our
not
culture.
dating either. Like, you and I have talked about this before, right? When they do want to have sex, they go out to a bar and they have sex, and then they don't call the girl. This is what
Oh,
feminists have done to themselves.
well, here's the bad part. It's going to ruin society. It's going to ruin society. People aren't going to have these social skills that you really need. And what is it like the incels, the guys who are just like sitting around in their apartments and they
They're
never have
like,
sex?
yeah, but they're like super dark. All I'm saying is this: I don't blame men for being confused about who they can approach and how they can approach them because it's very confusing.
Yes, yes,
You
it
know,
is.
like I'm even
The
watching. So
environment is bad.
this isn't a spoiler because you've probably seen the new trailer for Homecoming,
I have not.
Spider-Man:
I've been
Homecoming.
so off the reservation.
Oh, it's been out for a couple weeks.
Okay, well, oh, then I probably have seen it. I thought there was
Okay,
like a
yeah,
new
but I
one.
mean, he likes the dark-haired girl with the wavy hair,
Who does?
Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
He likes
yeah,
the dark-haired girl with the wavy hair, and he liked in part of the trailer. He tells her she looks pretty,
yeah.
and she's like, "Oh, so I've met my goals for objectification or something." And I'm like, "They did not just do this." And then his chin drops, and she goes, "I'm just kidding with you. You look pretty too." I'm like,
Oh,
"Boys aren't
I did see
pretty,
that.
huh?"
Yeah, I did see that one. I did see that one.
But I'm just
That
like,
was.
no, 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 no. Let's not put this in Marvel. No.
It's
I
everywhere.
just want
It's
you to know.
everywhere.
I want you to know. I've now seen Captain Marvel twice.
Damn, damn.
I've seen it twice, and you have not seen it once.
I have not, and I gotta really hurry up. I gotta hurry up.
You've only got like 3 weeks till Endgame comes out.
I know that's what I'm saying, and like I don't know how much longer it's gonna be in the theaters. I gotta get out there like this weekend, like ASAP. Holy
The
crap!
weekend is over, dude.
Well, I'll just say this, and I'll just say it publicly. I think it's very disconcerting that people like no sex is not good. No sex is not good, especially for young men and like there's it's we're talking about like DNA, like caveman crap. And I'm really concerned that these really frustrated middle-aged dudes like in their 30s who they're just going to start popping like popcorn. They're just going to lose. I don't. It is nothing good. Nothing good comes from this. I said this a million
It's been
years
going
ago.
on in Britain for a while, though.
I guess that's true. I know I was really concerned with China. Remember when China was doing the one kid thing and you could
Yeah.
only have and everybody was having boys. Everybody was having boys and I'm like, this is not good. You
Oh
don't
yeah,
want
no,
like
they have a total imbalance now.
yeah, it's just a
Hmm.
bunch of horny dudes and
Yep.
that's
On
no
the
bueno.
good news note though, the
Bring
divorce
it.
rate is going down.
The what rate's going down?
So the divorce rate peaks late boomers, early Gen X, and
Yeah.
millennials when they decide to get married, they're staying married.
Well, that's great. Good
Yeah,
for
I
them.
think well, a lot of people are theorizing that it's gone from because like during the whole sexual revolution and be free and easy and all that stuff, it was you're supposed to find your one true love. Well, that's a lot of searching, right?
Yes.
So you thought you found your one true love, and then you meet your secretary and go, whoops, right? So now they're saying that the thought pattern appears to be from surveying that millennials and those and that generation are going back to marriage as an institution. So
That would
I
be awesome.
love this person, they may not be my soulmate, but we're actually going to build something together.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
that's
thought
that's
that
kind
was
of
kind of cool.
romantic.
Huh?
I think that's kind of romantic, you
Yeah.
know? And that's what we're all about. That's what we're all about.
We're all about.
Um, I feel bad for the kids. I feel bad for the kids just not having that. Oh my gosh,
Well,
I think about like
you're not
how
even
I
going to
was.
want to watch Gen Z. That polling's going to make you want to just jump off a building.
What's going on there? What's up with those guys?
Half of them don't learn to drive by the time they're 18. 70% of them don't date in high school. Would you like me to go on?
Ouch, ouch.
Their
That,
adolescence is extremely prolonged. Um, they don't go out with their friends; they go out with their families.
yeah,
It's 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 literally like the adolescence is, and I saw this raising my kids because I was the weird mom. I'm like, go ride your bike, go outside. I live in this lovely
yeah,
community where you have pools and playgrounds. Go use them. I pay the
yeah,
HOA, right? And my kids would be the only one out there. My son would go knock on somebody's door and they'd say, "Come on in." Like kids weren't allowed to go out and play, even in like this 1 square mile community with an elementary school in the middle. Um, that was planned for families.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
bizarre. They don't let kids go out and play anymore.
Man, I saw the coolest thing. We stopped in the middle of nowhere to get gas. I can't remember what little town we were in Oregon the other day. And it was like this really tiny town. We stopped at this gas station, and there's like these two, like, they look to be like 13 or 14-year-old kids just walking their bikes down the street. They had just come from the gas station to get a pop, and they're just like throwing sticks as they walk their bikes. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
those kids have it together.
Yep.
Those kids
And
are
they're
having
going to
the
be
best
fine.
childhood ever.
They're
There's a
going to be
future
fine.
president.
You know what I finally figured out?
Huh.
That's why I love Stranger Things so much.
Boy, howdy.
It's coming back
Boy,
in
howdy.
July,
Yeah. Did you
season
see the
3,
Did
and
you see
those
the
kids are
trailer?
out
Did you see the
riding
trailer at the
bikes.
loftusparty.com?
They're 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 riding bikes. They're hiding things from their parents. They're scaring the crap out of themselves. I mean, that was like my childhood.
Yeah, yeah, it's a fond look back. It was like what Spielberg did so well, the slice of life stuff with like
Yeah,
Poltergeist and other E.T., a bunch of those movies. I say Poltergeist because he was the producer on that for the people who are keeping
I
track at
actually
home.
think
But
Stranger
like,
Things has a very poltergeist kind of feel.
no, it does.
Yeah.
It's like everything that Spielberg did well in, E.T. in those movies. These
Mm-hmm.
guys just are crushing it. Yeah, we had the
Yep.
trailer up at the Loftus party a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, just from the trailer, you're like, I get
Crushing it.
excited because like I didn't think season two was going to be that good. I really
The
didn't. I
mole.
thought I'm just telling you, from season one of Stranger Things was
Mm-hmm.
so great. I'm like, there's no way they can follow that up, and they did. Season two was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Season two was so phenomenal. I'm literally excited for season three. It's like being excited for, Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. Like,
Well,
yeah,
well,
Empire Strikes Back was great.
right.
I'm stoked. I'm stoked for that. There's so much good stuff.
Well, and somebody
Uh,
told me about one I have to watch now. It's the Motley Crue biopic, and you know me and hair bands. Come on,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's
I would
called
like to
Dirt
see it.
on Netflix. I've heard it's fabulous.
Yeah, I've heard good stuff about that as well. And Motley Crue, like, definitely that was not my bag. That was not my cup of
Totally
tea
my
back
bag.
in the day. However, I got a lot of respect for those guys for
Hmm.
keeping it together as long as they did. It's
Right.
like Def Leppard, man. I was never into Def Leppard, but then when you start finding out about the personalities and the stuff they went through, you're like, I can't blame those guys.
Y-
You can't be mad at them. And
You
I
know.
hate I hate that I can't hate Def Leppard anymore. I used to despise them, and I'm like, they're all
Oh
right.
no. See,
Okay.
I was all there, all
I,
there. Van
there you have it.
Halen, Motley Crue, Metallica, all of it. Queensryche.
Oh God, I can give you a little bit of White Snake. That's about it. That's about as far as I
Operation
go.
Mindcrime is one of the best albums ever.
No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. But you listen to the Rolling Stones.
I love the Rolling Stones.
Can't stand them.
We had a little listening party in the van on the way here. We were all over the place. We were all over the place. It was
Yeah.
great.
Well,
Yeah.
we have a certain potential guest that I'm really excited about having on.
Well, we do. If we're talking about the same person, if we're talking about my buddy Brian,
Yes.
yeah, Brian will definitely be doing the show. He's at Soundcheck right now, but man, oh man, that guy. I'll tease the appearance here. Brian Hayner, really like, and you keep finding out more and more about him. I met him a million years ago, just when I'm like, oh, he's a guitar act, he's a comedian, he's a guitar act, he plays the guitar, and then you find out, oh wow, not only does he play the guitar, he was like a big session musician, and he
Hmm.
played on a bunch of stuff, and then you find out, oh, not only did he do that, but he also arranges music and does music for films and television. And then I find out frickin' last night he's a best-selling author, and I'm like, shut up, stop it.
Stop
And
it.
then and then his son is in a very successful band. I don't know how much he'll
Very.
want to talk about that, but like extremely successful band. It's
One of
all
my
very cool.
favorite bands.
Yeah, so you'll
Yeah.
be yeah, get your questions ready. We'll and when we have Brian Hayner on. He's a genuinely wonderfully nice, funny, charming,
Well,
low key. He's a really cool dude. He's a very cool dude.
I'm going back to the movies on Tuesday.
What are you seeing?
I'm seeing Unplanned.
Oh my gosh, that was the other thing they wanted me to talk about this morning or tomorrow morning on Fox News.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
That was great. Did you hear what happened with their Twitter account?
Yeah, isn't that weird? Isn't that weird how it
But,
like
but
magically, mystically got shut off and then shut back
they
on?
had 8,000 followers. After they got banned, they have 90.
Yup, that's what happens. That's what
You
happens.
just made them a bigger deal than they were ever gonna be, and it totally outperformed expectations this weekend.
Well, it's we once again. I just this you guys know because you listen to the show and you're already going. We had a wonderful piece on planned on the website,
Hmm.
theloftusparty.com. It was fantastic. I did a little research into it. I think Paul might have written the piece. Paul Hare.
Uh huh.
Pick up his book, you guys. Go to Amazon, look up Paul Hare, buy his book. We have to support people on the right who make things and create things out of nothing. Go buy Paul's book.
Well, but
So
what I don't understand is this movie, and maybe it's the producers. I think they did a movie called God Isn't Dead or something like that that did
yeah.
pretty well. But these people got their movie into wide release, but Nick didn't get Gosnell into wide release.
Well, I think
And
that's
this
a
makes
very
Planned
interesting thing.
Parenthood look terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the thing that I found interesting about Unplanned, just on a little bit of research, is like this is the woman who was really high up in Planned Parenthood
Yeah,
for
she was the
years and years
youngest
and years.
director.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Abby
then came
Johnson.
the fateful day. She, I guess, was part of one of the procedures, and then she had to tap out. And
Hmm.
now she's a very vocal. And I was ready to go off. I was ready to go off on Unplanned. It's fantastic. Go see it. Go see it. Support that whole endeavor.
Yep,
But
going
like
Tuesday.
that's great. And now, like you've got Georgia, I guess, just planned that heartbeat bill. They
Oh,
passed that,
yeah. Governor's
and
gonna
now
sign it.
and and like everyone in Hollywood is like, well, I guess that's it. I guess we're not going to film anymore in Georgia. And I'm like, yeah, sure,
Like a bunch
whatever.
of B list. Like I didn't see anybody on that list that's doing it. Alyssa Milano, please don't come back. The last time you were here, you were campaigning for John Ossoff and offering to drive people to the polls for free. Like, please don't come back. I don't care if you never set foot in my state again.
The joke is the joke I was going to do is like, so Alyssa Milano says she's not going to be filming in Georgia. She's boycotting Georgia. evidently she's also been boycotting regular Hollywood for the last 10 years.
Right?
I don't like to make fun of people for not being able to get work. Alyssa, she's found her niche. She's found her niche. She likes
Being a
to
dumb political
loudly
content commentator?
yeah. Yeah, she likes
Oh,
to
God.
loudly spout off about things that she legitimately doesn't understand and that she legitimately hasn't thought through. And that she like has she's like a knee jerk and then she just has
She's
her first reaction, then she just goes with it and just yells it to the mountaintops.
she's an intersectional mess is what she is, and if she doesn't stop talking about the border, I'm gonna have to mute her. Or I'll get
Ah,
myself banned. Because guys, March over 100,000. This is the highest level since 2008, and I'm pissed. Shut it down. Shut it
it
down. Shut it down. Shut it down.
it's what happened to Reagan,
I know.
you once you say once you stop the shutdown and there's no threat, because you can look at the numbers. As soon as Trump got elected, everybody was like, oops, and the numbers went way down because they're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, he's going to be hardcore. And then they see like, oh, nothing happens to you. In fact, not only do things not happen to you, there's even more protection for me. And then here comes the wave, just wave after wave after wave. These numbers are insane.
Did you
These
see what
numbers are insane.
did you see what CBS did today?
I did not. I was in a van.
How the coyotes help people through the dangerous jungle or some kind of garbage headline like that.
That's just
How the
outrageous.
coyotes help. Oh my god, they got absolutely freaking roasted.
It's
They're
every time you think
criminals.
you see the last headline that can blow your mind, here comes another one. There's another
Yeah,
one right down the street.
hero coyotes. They also give the girls free birth control. Wonder why.
Oh my gosh. They did that's
They didn't
insane.
write that in the article, but that's what people were responding with.
Okay, good. That's
Yeah.
that's that's very funny. That's very
Yeah,
funny.
I mean, it was just
I
like,
mean, to me,
do you think people are stupid?
they do. They
These
really
people are
do.
taking money from desperate people. And you know what? Trump said, I don't know if he said it on Friday. I don't know if Congress is going to agree, but he's like, cut off all aid to the triangle. I'm like, good move. Good
Yes.
move.
Yes. I
If
I
we're going to have to feed all their people, you're damn right we should cut them off.
why are we giving and I said this in a video months ago, like why are we giving billions of dollars to these countries? You're literally flushing it down the toilet. You're flushing it down the toilet. It's a ginormo waste. Here's the other story that I wanted to get to that I feel bad about it, and it's a warning sign. The canary in the coal mine. They have another delay in Brexit. Another delay in Brexit.
Oh, yeah, that country's going to bust. You know
You
all the
know,
protests we don't see from France? You're going to start seeing them in the UK.
France, that has not stopped. They're still
No,
going every weekend. Every weekend, those yellow vest
every
people are out there.
day. They burned some historic bra. I was trying to find a picture of it for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was some historic brassiere in a museum, and they burnt it up by mistake.
Oh, that's too bad. Here's
Yeah.
my new thing. I'm still keeping the Saturday booty going. Saturday booty's fantastic, and now I'm going to be doing. I believe I'm going to be doing either titty Tuesdays or Tata Tuesdays. There's just
Okay, as
too
long as you
many.
don't go full boob, because that'll get you in trouble.
Oh, I'm not going to show nipple or anything, but it's a
Okay.
one. It's like a salute to cleavage and a salute to the bosom. A salute. I just I want to have more fun. I want to have more fun. But the Brexit people, my joke that I thought was very funny is like these people voted for Brexit. They pay taxes and they expect their representatives to do their bidding. So now they're paying taxes and they're voting, but their vote doesn't really matter. So they're having to deal with taxation without representation. And
I think
now
I think we like unloaded a few boats over that.
I gotta remember us getting mad. I,
Yeah.
I, I gotta remember us getting mad. I kind of want. I don't want violence. I don't want people to get hurt. But I would be so pissed. I would be so pissed if I voted back in flipping 2016.
Yep.
Back in 2016,
Oh,
we want out.
Theresa May's over. Over. Her
What a
coalition, gone.
you know they're just playing for time. You know they're just playing for time. And any day now you're going to hear, you know what, we should vote again. We should vote again. I guarantee it.
They've been trying that for 6 months.
They'll get it. They'll get it through. They'll get it through. And
I'm sure they will, and it's disgusting.
it's horrible. It's horrible. I wish them nothing but luck. My heart goes out to you, you wonderful people of England, you sons and daughters of England. We will fight them on the beach. We will fight them on the ground. We will fight them on the air. I am going to wrap it up here.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, I've got to get over and do my sound check now. It's a beautiful space. Holy smoke! This theater we were in last night was just outrageously huge. They built it for the World's Fair or some crap. It's just been amazing. I'm falling a little bit in love with the Pacific Northwest. I'll just warn you guys right now. I definitely see the appeal, and especially Spokane. Spokane was like really that it really got to me a little bit. It was like Boise, Idaho, another town that I just dearly love. So I'm gonna go to Soundcheck. We're gonna do another show tonight. This will be posted on Monday. Happy Monday, everybody! And then hopefully Tuesday morning, the Fox News people we will have figured it out. They've been so sweet. They've been so nice. They've been extremely generous. Like trying to arrange satellite feeds for my crazy schedule. So if you're working at Fox News, I'm not bitching about it. I think it's awesome. So I'll do Fox News on Tuesday. There'll be a new video on the YouTube channel on Tuesday as well. That'll be exciting, and there'll be maybe some boobies. Ta Tuesdays. I think we'll continue on with that. We'll keep going with the Saturday booty. This last Saturday's was a wonderful one. Did you see Saturdays?
No.
Oh, come on. You got to get with the program.
I was doing a good thing.
What were you doing?
We had a benefit for our friend who suffered a heart attack, and we raised several $1,000s for him to help pay his medical expenses. So I was cooking and serving all day long.
Well, that's wonderful. That's a great excuse. That's a great excuse.
That's why I didn't see your booty picture on Saturday.
All right. Well, then go to Instagram now. Go to the Loftus Party on Instagram and go look at that. This week's booty was sponsored by Coconuts. That's the other thing that I love doing. I love finding the picture and then finding something interesting about it and saying this week's is sponsored by blank. I'm a child. I'm an absolute child. Okay, so I'm gonna do a show tonight. It's gonna be wonderful, and stay in touch. Everything's going swimmingly well. Listen, and I say this all the time, but like the Facebook numbers they just continue to go. We're getting closer to 10,000, and 10,000 is the magic number for everything. We're getting closer to 10,000 on YouTube. And as we grow and we tell more people and people share and they talk about the podcast, it's really, and being on this tour, I just want to double down on it. By supporting one another and talking to one another and going, oh, I found this cool thing. It's like, you're digging the Ben Shapiro thing. So, okay, so even though Ben Shapiro, God knows he doesn't need our help, but hey, that's a great thing that Ben is doing and Michael Knowles is doing this. And we gotta keep talking about this and supporting one another and building. It's what the left does so well. It's what they do so well. And the right could use a big solid dose of it now before going into 2020. Okay, so that's me on my soapbox. That was me being a little preachy. It was a wonderful podcast. Thanks for downloading it. Thanks for listening. Tell your friends. For the love of God, start an account at theloftusparty.com. Start posting. Don't make me come over there and hit you, because I will.